Ukraine is a country inheriting many weapons and military technology from the Soviet Union, second largest after Russia. This country once had the top military power in the world, but so far it is more tragic than ever. Ukraine was established in December 1991 after the fall of the mighty Soviet Union. This country inherited a variety of Soviet weapons, equipment, and military technology, the second most numerous of all the countries of the former Federation, second only to Russia. It can be said that with the huge weapons received after the founding of the nation, Ukraine had a powerful army in the world, outperforming the military powers at that time such as China, Japan, and other Western European countries. At the time of its founding, the Ukrainian army owned 176 nuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles, including 130 SS-19 and 24 SS-24 missiles, along with more than 1,000 warheads. At that time, Ukraine was the third largest nuclear power in the world, behind only the US and Russia, ahead of China in quantity and quality. However, due to pressure from the West and Russia, Ukraine decided to destroy and transfer nuclear weapons to Russia. As of 1994, Ukraine was completely non-nuclear. Under the Soviet Union, Ukraine was home to many heavy industrial plants. After 1991, this country inherited a lot of extremely advanced technology, especially the shipbuilding industry. Particularly, a shipyard located in the Black Sea of Ukraine in the mid-1980s built both aircraft carriers, Admiral Kuznetsov and Varyag, at the same time. And as we all know, only the Admiral Kuznetsov was put into service. The Varyag was only about 60% complete and left unfinished due to the collapse of the Federation. Because of its limited economic potential, the reception of a huge arsenal of Soviet weapons was a burden on Ukraine. They did not have the funds to maintain, not to mention continuing to build. The Varyag could not be completed, and the Chinese quickly took the opportunity to buy it and do the rest. Varyag is now the famous Liaoning CV-16, the first aircraft carrier of the Chinese Navy. The shipbuilding industry is most tragic. Ukraine used to be able to build ships of tens of thousands of tons, but now it can only build small ships. The Ukrainian Navy now relies entirely on small Gyorza-M patrol boats, which even are classified as coastal patrol boats. The most formidable next to the Ukraine's intercontinental ballistic missile system was the powerful bomber inherited from the Soviet Union, They used to own 43 strategic bombers, including 23 Tu-95s and 20 Tu-160s. There were also 241 tactical bombers, including 90 Tu-16s, 70 Tu-22s, and 81 Tu-22Ms. The Tu-160 was one of the most formidable bombers of its time, but due to the lack of funds to maintain it, Ukraine planned to sell them to China. However, American intervention prevented this, and Ukraine had to destroy them all. Currently, the Ukrainian Air Force no longer operates bombers. The most significant was probably the tank force of the Ukrainian army. Ukraine inherits a huge number of tanks, from the T-54, 55, T-62, T-64 to the T-72 and the modern T-80. This gave the Ukrainian army an undeniable strength, stronger than any other Western European ground force. Like other forces, its weak and tiny economy did not allow Ukraine to maintain such a large number of tanks. Most of them were left in warehouses. Due to the lack of money, Ukraine also exported Soviet T-64 National Treasure to the Congo for the first time. The T-64 was never allowed to be exported under the Soviet Union. Ukraine was still trying to develop its own modern tank, and as a result, the T-84 Oblot was born. It was advertised as capable of outperforming the famous Russian T-90A. Thailand was the first country to order these vehicles. The Ukrainians' delay left Thailand impatient, and they switched to buy Chinese VT-4. The Thais also assumed that the T-84 Oblots were ineffective, and even the main armor was cracked. This raises a great doubt about Ukraine's ability to make weapons. Since the 2014 Ukrainian Revolution until now, Ukraine has lost an important part of Crimea Peninsula, along with the civil war in the eastern part of this country, which has resulted in the worse and worse military situation. A large number of tanks and armored vehicles suffered heavy losses during the war. The most important shipbuilding industries were in Crimea, and now Russia. It made Ukraine even more miserable and tragic. It can be said that Ukraine, from a country with the most powerful military in the world, inherited the most quintessence of the Soviet defense. Now, after nearly 30 years of development, they have returned to a situation that could not be more tragic. Both the Navy, the Army, and the Air Force are extremely tragic, severely declining in both quantity and quality. It is mainly due to the underdeveloped economy and poor management of the leadership. My video about the defense of Ukraine ends here. thank you for watching. If you find this video interesting, please give me your thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to support the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.